Good afternoon. Welcome to our Dell Music Lounge live audience. Say hello on the radio. We, of course, want to thank our friends at Dell, at Toss Pizzeria, who fed our intimate studio audience, Rambler Sparkling Water, who provided the water for our intimate studio audience, and our friends at Flying Embers. So, ACL 2021, that final weekend, two of the best things I saw, John Baptiste and Nané. And John Baptiste, nominated for 11 Grammys. Nané get to play our Dell Music Lounge. So it's the way it worked out. We'll talk in a moment. We'll talk about ACL. We'll talk about what's next. But first, live from our Dell Music Lounge, please welcome Austin's Nané.
Thanks, Sam. We were lovers from the start. Earth knows and saved you. Hold until we torn apart. Be the ashen flame. Hide away, still love won't let her be loved. Hide away, don't let this love go waste. Hide away, still love won't let her be loved. No. Hide away, don't let this love go to waste. Ladybird, you sang to me. Sirens in the blue. Every door I walk through calls me back to you. Calls me back to you. Hide away, still love won't let her be loved. No. Hide away, don't let this love go waste. Hide away, still love won't let her be loved. No. Hide away, don't let this love go waste. Don't let this heart be. Don't let this heart be gone. Don't let this heart be gone. This love go to waste. Thank you. Happy to be here with all you guys. Tell me I'm the best, I'm feeling depressed. Talk of the town, it's toxic, I'm gonna melt through. Tell me I'm the worst, I'm stealing your purse. From the quarantine to house school, it's gonna belt through. Pulling up and down of the skin on my body. Oh, you do me oh. Pulling up your hair like a girl so naughty. Shake, shake, get home. No touching your face, somebody disgraced. Through all the doctors on 59 and the babies that cry. I'm living a lie, I'm waiting to die. Too proper a piece of let rot in the seat and see through. Up and down of the skin on my body. Pulling out your hair like a girl so naughty. Shake, shake, get home. I'm never trying to hold you back. I'm trying to see the light beam on my head. If you wanna see stormy weather, 17 and under pressure. I'm never trying to hold you back. I'm trying to see the light beam on my head. If you wanna see stormy weather, 17 and under pressure. I can't take it anymore, I'm losing patience. You and me up in my brain, UFO up in this space. Can't believe my eyes, now I need a LASIK. I can't tell you how this goes, but tell you how it tastes. Running up and down on the skin of my body. Oh, you me oh. Pulling out your hair like this, so naughty. Shake, shake, keep going. I'm never trying to hold you back. I'm trying to see the light beam on my head. It's gonna see stormy weather, 17 and under pressure. I'm never trying to hold you back. I'm trying to see the light beam on my head. If you wanna see the stormy weather, 17 and under pressure. Wait for the days when you come to my place and we take off the mask and we talk all day. Baby, days all the put away with the gun to the face and yeah. I'm never trying to hold you back. I'm trying to see the light beam on my head. It's gonna stormy weather, 17 and under pressure. I'm never trying to hold you back. I'm trying to see the light beam on my head. It's gonna see stormy weather, 17 and under pressure.
Nané, live on Austin City Limits Radio from our Dell Music Lounge. So like I was saying, the Austin City Limits Music Festival Weekend 2, you had that in your head for a while that this thing was coming up. This would have been a good band, a good festival band anyway. But that day, with everyone sort of just happy to be back out to begin with, including, I imagine, yourselves, there was something special. Did it feel like that from the stage?
Oh, truly, yeah. I mean, just, you know, how much, like you said, pent-up energy and just this racing to have this freedom and finally come together after such a long time. You could definitely feel that on stage, and it was pulsing. And that energy was given right back to us, you know. When we were up there, people were yelling our lyrics back at us and dancing the whole time, and you know, it had that feeling of it's good to be back, you know, a significant moment.
And this is a record that came out during the pandemic, so it's a record that you weren't able to really know how it connected until that day when they're bringing lyrics back to you.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent that's true, but we are, you know, and I say this humbly, but we're lucky that in our first year, you know, ever since our first shows, we were able to sell out in like smaller rooms and work our way up to bigger rooms. So, you know, we had played rooms, we had headlined rooms of over 1,000 people, but nothing like ACL. So the pause in between those two, you know, we did question, but that's why we pushed so hard digitally and made all this stuff, you know, during the pandemic to stay relevant and top of mind and just keep entertaining.
Was it tough to not be disappointed by that pause in momentum that everyone had during the pandemic?
Say that one more time.
Was it difficult to wrap your head around the idea that even though things were starting to happen, you did have to slow it down, and it was inopportune. You know, it was deadly for a lot of folks, but it was inopportune for you.
Sure, and I say that with no disrespect to anybody that's had, you know, lost family members or faced that virus really severely. But, you know, I try not to dwell on things too long. I know that to make it and to fight and to make a seamless transition into where I and we want to be, number one thing is adaptability. And you need to be able to react quickly. And so, as soon as I heard about it, I was just trying to convert our strategy into how are we going to do this in a digital way? And that's when we came up with really silly ideas like the NPR laundromat that made us a finalist. So that was a bit of traction. We did a thing released a song on OnlyFans with a sex hotline video. And that was during the Bella Thorne period. And I think it's just that. It was, all right, how do we shift our energy? Of course we were gonna make videos. You know, I worked in film, of course we are. But now we have to double down. This is our outlet. This is how we connect. And we gotta make people laugh, and we gotta make people feel all of those emotions they feel when they see us live through a screen. So that's what we felt, what we did.
I mean, given all that's going on, the divisiveness and whatnot, this is a relatively hopeful record. Is that by design?
It truly is. You know, I think that this record, there's so much hope within it, and it's really, I think every song is rooted in dichotomy, right? So it isn't just, oh, I love you, or oh, my heart is broken. I think it looks at the complexities of, you know, I love you, and I do know I have to leave, and you'll always be a part of me. And I think, like, in those messages, in those dichotomies, there's always hope, what ties them together. And so I think every song has a message of hope and or confidence or extrication. And I don't say so in an arrogant way, but I say so in a way that's human, in a way that's, you know, our age, you know, your mid-20s, you know, finally separating from a lot of the structures that held you afloat this long, and really swimming on your own, independently seeking the truth to your highest self and your most honest self. And I think in that, there has to be hope.
There's also been a lot of talk lately, for good reason, about representation within music and folks seeing folks that look like them performing. You're a first-generation immigrant. This doesn't happen without immigration.
Right.
And that's something that's been put a little bit on the back burner because we've had a pandemic, but it keeps popping up. And I think the reminder that this doesn't happen without that is also important.
I truly do. And I'm not sure how it's relevant to what you said, but I do think it's important. What I'm going to say is that whenever I was growing up, I never saw a musician that I thought looked like me, or an artist or someone in films. And so even if this goofy human existence can provide an example in some way, I think that's important for representation, so that somebody else can dream and actually put themselves in the shoes. Because, like, I watched, like, Lord of the Rings or something when I was little, and I'm like, I'm not any of those guys. You know what I mean?
All right, Lord of the Rings and OnlyFans. My work is done here.
That's a wrap, everybody.
Yeah.
Nah, 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 nah.
All right. Once again, live in our Dell Music Lounge, this is Nané.
Make y'all wait for it. This girl is always on my mind. Although you got me confused, I saw a feeling smooth. Eyes beat a magic mystery. You never seen a girl so fine, fine now.
Let me take you around the ocean. Now I'm Mr. Big, with my hands up on my hips. I just wanna see the sun. This sunscreen always seems to mean I'm here to have some. My ties on the beach.
On the beach,
Or in the club.
in the club,
I'm holding a jet ski with James Franco and he tells me that I'm fun. I know I'm fun.
I know I'm fun.
But I'm not for everyone, and you're not for everyone. I'm still here to make a splash on blue velvet. You feel so good on my skin. Take a leap over the edge. On blue velvet, you feel so good on my tongue. Every day, sweet on the fun. I'm on the run. You got me now. You got me. You got me now. Oh, I'm on the run. Let me take you around the ocean. Now find an island off the keys. Who love us and chimpanzees? They want to battle. Leave a king.
What stay?
I don't leave home without my cardboard. Boy, when it's done, don't make a scene. Let's cut the.
Let's cut the.
Not that different, you know. No one's that different, you know. Let's take a dive. On blue velvet, you feel so good on my eyes. Take a deep breath and survive. On the run. You got me. You got me. Got me now. Oh, I'm on the run.
Why you running? We're gonna riot. You can chase us, but you can't identify us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got me now. You got me. You got me now. Oh, you got me. Got me. You got me now. Oh, on the run. On the run. You got me. You got me. You got me now. Oh, on the run.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nané live on Austin City Limits Radio from our Dell Music Lounge. Is there an Austin show on the books that people know about or don't know about?
We actually have a New Year's Eve show planned at Empire Garage with Black Odyssey and TC Superstar and more special guests that we're not allowed to announce yet, but it's going to be an incredible night. So you guys please come through, have a great time with us.
All right, New Year's at Empire. Thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing everything, which is good. No, I meant that. All right, so again, thanks to our friends at Dell, at Toss Pizzeria, at Rambler Sparkling Water, and at Flying Embers.